Good morning. I'm Dr. Aisha Khalid, and I'll be your host for today's Quiet Echo. I want to tell you about two people whose bodies remember something the rest of us only read about. Patrick Crago was 5 years old in 1950 when he caught polio. There was no vaccine. The disease paralyzed both his legs, one arm, and part of his torso. For the first 3 months, he was isolated from his family at a hospital. For more than 9 months after, he was in a rehabilitation center learning to walk with crutches. He has been in a wheelchair since his mid-50s. He is in his late 70s now. He carries this in his body every day. Diane Roberta was 11 in 1955 when she caught polio. Just months before the vaccine went public, she has used a wheelchair ever since. She said this week, "We need to delve into our history and see what a difference modern medicine has made in our lives." Both of them are now members of Grandparents for Vaccines, a network founded in Cleveland by Dr. Arthur Lavin, a retired pediatrician. They speak to community groups, to families, to anyone who will listen. They are telling their stories because they were children when the vaccines were not yet there. And they want no child to be a child when the vaccine is not there again. I am a physician. I have been practicing for 20 years. In 20 years, I have never treated a case of polio. I have never seen an iron lung. I have never watched a child lose the use of his legs to a disease for which there was no recourse. I have never had to say to a family, "Your child will spend the next 9 months in rehabilitation learning to walk with crutches." I have never had to do any of this because a vaccine made it unnecessary. I want to sit with the sentence for a moment, because I think we move past it too quickly. I trained in medicine having already solved certain problems. It feels like the natural state of things. It is not the natural state of things. It is the result of a specific scientific achievement applied in time to enough people until the disease lost its hold. The problems I never had to solve did not disappear on their own. They were solved. And the solving required enough people in enough communities received the protection before the disease arrived. Patrick Crago was 5 years old in 1950. The vaccine came in 1955. 5 years. Think about what 5 years means to a 5-year-old body. By the time the vaccine existed, he was already living in the paralysis. His body has been living inside those 5 years ever since. Diane Roberta was 11 in 1955. The vaccine went public that same year, months after she caught the disease. Months. She was 11 years old, and a few months was the difference between a life in a wheelchair and a life without one. Her body has been living inside those months ever since. Dr. Lavin said something worth staying with. He said grandparents are one of the most enduring reservoirs of trust in an age where trust is hard to come by. Most people believe grandparents love their grandchildren. And the grandparents' generation lived before certain vaccines existed. They know what these diseases do. They know it not from a textbook but from their own bodies, or from the bodies of people they loved. They are terrified their grandchildren might be forced to endure what they endured. They are speaking because they believe it is still possible to prevent it. I think about my patients. I think about the children I see in Cedar Valley every week. I think about what it would mean to have to tell one of their families, years from now, something I have never had to tell anyone. I think about the weight of a sentence I have never had to say, and I think about the weight of sentences Patrick Crago has been saying for decades. I think about what it would cost the child. I think about what it would cost their body, which, as Patrick and Diane demonstrate, does not forget. Bodies keep their records long after everyone else has moved on. Patrick Crago was 5. There was no vaccine. He is in his late 70s now, and he is still trying to tell someone what it cost him. He is speaking to community groups in Cleveland. He is hoping someone in Cedar Valley will hear him. I am a physician. I am also a mother and a person of faith, and someone who believes the stories we carry in our bodies are worth telling and worth hearing. Patrick and Diane are telling theirs. They have been telling them for years. They will keep telling them as long as they are able, because the telling is the work, and the work is not finished. What they are asking is not complicated. It is this: do not make a 5-year-old child wait 5 years for what could have been there already. Do not let a child's body carry what it does not have to carry. Listen to the grandparents. They know what they are talking about. They know it in their bodies. Patrick Crago is in his late 70s. He caught polio at 5. He will not stop speaking until someone hears him. I am asking Cedar Valley to be among the people who do. If you'd like to respond to today's episode, go to the Cedar Valley News Facebook group, where the conversation continues. I will put the link in the show notes. This is Dr. Aisha Khalid, your host for today's Quiet Echo. Thanks for listening. This Quiet Echo is part of the fictional Cedar Valley News series, written by Evan Swenson, publisher, publication consultants, and Claude Marshall, AI developmental editor. While the people in town of Cedar Valley are fictional, Patrick Crago, Diane Roberto, Dr. Arthur Lavin, and grandparents for vaccines are real, as reported by Grant Segal in The Land on May 1, 2026.
You've been listening to the Cedar Valley News Podcast, where small-town voices meet the headlines shaping our world. From faith and family to front porches and fields. We'll be back with more stories connecting real lives to real events. Until next time, keep your porch light on, your faith strong, and your heart open. This is Cedar Valley News.